Joe and Tiana are from two different worlds.
She makes me eat these Hawaiian foods that almost make you puke.
But her blind date enjoys exotic foods.
I liked it a lot, especially when she was feeding it to me with her fingers.
And exotic tongues.
Nane no Tiana. That means, Tiana, you are so beautiful.
After Joe embraces a new culture,
She's from Hong Kong originally, so
Doesn't look Hong Kongian.
will their two worlds still be one?
Wakana makai pa'eoi. I mean, she's mine, get your own.
Or will they have a change of heart?
Welcome to Change of Heart. This is a show where couples who've reached a crossroads in their relationship voluntarily go on one blind date with someone new. So let's meet our couple. Now, she's a model from Hawaii, and he's a good old boy from California. They became fast friends in college, but one night they stayed up late studying, and instead of hitting the books, well, they were hitting on each other. Yes, and they've been sharing a locker together now for the past 7 months. Please welcome Joe Harrison and Tiana Becker. You guys are here because you're having a bad semester in the relationship. But Joe, we'll start with you. What is it about Tiana that set her apart from all the other, lots of students on campus?
She's by far the most beautiful one on campus. Her personality and everything else about her just stands out. And she's, her eyes and her lips are by far the most attractive part about her.
That beautiful smile. Yeah. All right, and Tiana, what does Joe do to get good grades with you?
Well, every night he stays over. In the morning, he'll make me breakfast. He'll make waffles or eggs, and sometimes he wears his boxers and looks kind of sexy.
See, it's the little things sometimes. Now, Joe, we know that Tiana's from Hawaii. What about cultural differences, though, between the two of you?
She makes me eat these Hawaiian foods that almost make you puke. She'll get
what is she making you?
She'll bring shredded pork that's all sour. Or
It's
poi
not
that's
even sour.
She'll get
It's
poi
salty.
that's rotten jelly or.
Boy.
No,
Sometimes
that's
she'll
what I
whip
grew
out these
up on.
candy
Are you
packs and it's
kidding me?
big dragonflies and
Tiana, if he doesn't like this stuff, why are you cooking it or making it or whatever you're doing?
No, it's a part of my culture. I grew up with it, and it's not like he's ever been to Hawaii.
Well, that makes sense. Now, Tiana, what about the things that Joe does? Anything that he does that's weird?
Well, he always wears my clothes.
You got some explaining to do.
And he looks like a freak.
Okay, I
No,
got
no,
Wait. Go ahead. I want to hear this, Joe.
She has a lot of guys' clothes, like board shorts, surf t-shirts, things
My
along those
size,
lines.
my size,
No,
though.
there's some of them that
Not
are bigger because she
6'6",
gets them all for
230
free.
pounds.
So I'll come over and I'll have clothes that are dirty, whatever, and I'll just slip into some of those.
You're not wearing the thong and the bra or anything.
No, but he wears short shorts and he has long, skinny legs, and they're white, and it doesn't look
Skinny legs?
I mean, they're...
Well, he's tall. Joe, what about Tiana? Is she doing things that make her look silly?
Yeah, there's one thing in particular. Her dancing. Horrible.
Bad.
We used to go down dancing a lot. We don't do it anymore because she's got the this ostrich look when she dances. Her neck's kind of bouncing around and
No,
stuff.
this is Joe. This is Joe.
I don't know if
though.
you've ever seen the Seinfeld episode.
To every dance.
It doesn't matter what's playing.
Have you seen the Seinfeld episode where Elaine's whipping out the flames and
Right.
stuff? I swear to God, that's her to a T.
Now, Tiana, you're both away from home and in college. Is Joe kind of independent?
No, he's a total mama's boy. His parents run his life. He works over the summer and then he gives his parents all his money and then they budget it for him.
No.
You can't handle the
He's
cash.
never even had a checking account.
Okay, let me
ever.
tell you how it
He
is.
doesn't know how to write a
I
check.
worked all summer and gave every penny down to, everything I have down to my parents to pay my bills. I pay them in advance. So, I don't have a
Right.
financial
No,
aid package
I don't-
besides a small mutual fund like her.
So it's kind of like he gets an allowance. Is that what he does?
No.
Tiana?
Then I take a little bit out for myself, put it in a drawer. Whenever I go home, I just grab a little bit out
and
myself.
it's not
There's
only that,
allowance.
though.
I haven't
It's
had
not only
allowance
that.
since I was like 7 years old.
Oh, wait, what's your major in school?
Finance.
And never had a checking account?
Oh,
Well, Tiana, since you say Joe's mom basically gives him an allowance, does he spend that on you?
no, he's the cheapest
spend every
guy
dime
ever.
on her. I
No,
spend
he only
every
spends
single
$15.
dime on her.
$15?
Yeah.
On
about
what?
$15. Well, he bought me a teddy bear for Christmas, which was a cute thing. But I'm not a teddy bear girl.
Joe, what about trust, though? What about the trust factor between the two of you? What's that about?
There's none. No. See, I'll tell her,
No.
I love you, I care for you, I'll do anything I can
Yeah,
for
but you
you.
don't show me anything.
No. I'll give you an example.
Go ahead.
Every time she goes somewhere and comes off the plant, I pick her up with a huge bouquet of sunflowers. We'll take her out to dinner, take her to a movie,
No.
come back, spend the night, bake her breakfast in the morning, and after all that, she said, I just don't think you like hanging out with me.
No, that's not it.
So,
at all.
Tiana, are
That's
you
not-
unappreciative, or?
No,
Yeah.
it's not that I'm unappreciative. It's just that
I think it's spoiled.
I want. Oh, I'm not.
All right, well, let me ask you this, Tiana. What do you think you're going to learn from being on the show and doing this?
Well, I guess it's just that Joe needs to understand our issues, and I do too. So it'd be good for us both to really, I don't know.
Explore those a little bit more and see what happens? Okay, well, that makes sense then. All right, it seems that Joe and Tiana need some tutoring in their relationship. Now, when we come back, we're going to meet the people that they dated, and we'll find out if they're going to stay together or have a change of heart, so stay here. We're here with Joe and Tiana. Now, Tiana wishes that Joe would quit wearing her clothes, quit letting his mom run his life, and quit being so damn cheap. So, we set her up with a self-sufficient guy who loves to spend money on his dates and swears he's never been a cross-dresser. Please welcome Jeff Stoltz.
Hey, Jeff. What's happening, kid? Good to meet you. How you doing, sweetie?
So, Joe, what do you think? You think Jeff would look good in Tiana's shorts?
I'll tell you right now, Chris, he's never going to see Tiana's shorts.
Okay, Tiana, what about you? Any concerns that you had before you went out with Jeff?
Well, I was a little nervous when I talked to him on the phone. He told me he was a poli-sci major, and I kind of thought he was a nerd, a little. But it's okay.
All right, so then when you guys finally did meet, did he do anything special to break the ice and get things going?
Yeah, he came to my door with a Hawaiian shirt and some mixed-match Hawaiian shorts and a hat and
I have plenty of Hawaiian clothes, but I don't wear them on a date.
And it was cute, and it was he didn't wear them on the date.
That's what you said. He came to the door.
No, he came to the door. And so he wore it, and it was kind of funny. It was hilarious, and it was a good way to start off the date. And then he changed.
Okay. Hawaiian, that might have been kind of fun. But, Jeff, I have to ask if you've ever worn women's, shorts and T-shirts and...
Okay, they're guys' clothes that she has. They're not women.
You know, I got to tell you, Chris, that it's really not my style, but if it works for Joe, I'm not going to complain. You know,
Okay.
it's just,
So, Jeff, you finally meet Tiana, and what'd you think?
I walk in the door and I was taken back. I thought, I was just happy that my luck was good. That this girl I was taking out was gorgeous. And I was happy.
Okay. So, Tiana, as far as the Hawaiian thing was going on, did Jeff stay true to that?
Yeah, actually, he took me to a really nice, authentic Hawaiian restaurant, and there's great food, and it was a place that Joe would never be caught dead in. Never.
No, I'd probably make my own food.
No, he'd...
Now, we heard Joe complaining about Hawaiian food. Jeff didn't really like it, made him sick or whatever. What about you?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, I liked it a lot, especially when she was feeding it to me with her fingers. That was
Nice touch.
yeah, pretty much anything would have tasted good off her fingers.
So, Tiana, there you are, feeding him your little Hawaiian treats.
Yeah. I fed him some poi with... I couldn't resist. He's so cute. I just had to put some poi on my fingers and feed it to him.
Well, he just
it's a tradition. It's a tradition in Hawaii. You eat poi with your fingers.
Yeah. So, Jeff, one of the things that Joe said was Tiana's dancing was kind of ostrich-like all over the dance floor. Did you get a chance to experience it?
There was nothing ostrich-like at all. She was beautiful. Great dancer.
All right, so Tiana, there you are at the club, and was Jeff acting like a perfect gentleman?
Yeah, he was, except that a woman, hit him, I guess, and he's like, dumb bitch. But it was just funny. It was just really funny. It wasn't anything.
It was
like
a
a
joke
gentleman
between us, yeah. She didn't hear it, so...
So it was okay.
Yeah, it was
Now, Tiana, one of the other complaints that you had was that Joe was still dependent on his parents. What about Jeff? Any feeling for that?
No, he seems really independent. He lives with his brother, and he works and supports himself, and seems like he's pretty worldly and mature.
So a lot of differences then between the two of them. All right. Jeff, what about was there any romance while this date was going on? Did you get to that point?
Well, actually, she was talking about how she was homesick, so I thought that I would...
She was missing Hawaii.
yeah, so I thought that I'd take her to the beach, and we went up to the beach, and we were walking on the beach, and it was all beautiful. She looked gorgeous, and the moon bouncing off the waves, and it was driving me crazy. She smelled so good. But I was taken back by that.
Making you a little wacky.
It was getting a little crazy.
And Tiana, did you notice he was going nuts or what?
Yeah, he told me he sang in a choir in college, and so
Choir?
he sang to me.
That's great.
No.
All right, easy, Joe.
Easy, mama boy.
He can sing. He
he's
sang to
bagging
me a
on me
Hawaiian
for
song.
that.
Wait, Tiana says he sang a Hawaiian song.
Yeah.
That's
It was
kind of
honestly,
impressive.
so it was really nice.
And Jeff, while you were doing this, was Tiana putting on a little show for you?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because she did her own little hula rendition for me there on the beach. And, things were shaking, things were swaying. It was actually really nice. I was pretty excited.
All right, now, Tiana, you said Joe's kind of cheap, doesn't have any money to spend on you. What about with Jeff when you were out?
Well, Jeff said that he wanted to fly me to Hawaii. He wished he could.
Wanted to fly you to Hawaii. Nothing cheap about that, I'll tell you.
You could say a lot of things, but talk is cheap. So.
Okay. Jeff, were you
No, that's you're cheap, not me.
Jeff, were you at the beach all night then? Things seem to be going pretty good there.
Well, actually, it was getting late. It was getting late, and it was kind of chilly, so we went back, and I just thought I was going to drop her off, and she invited me up to her place, and
All right, and Tiana, what was going on back there at your place?
Well, I just invited him in just to be nice, and he came into my room, and we sat on my bed and looked at pictures of my family and my friends, and then he gave me a kiss goodnight, and it was a perfect date. Yeah.
All right, and Jeff, was there one last thing you wanted to say to Tiana before we wrap it up?
Well, as a matter of fact, there is, and forgive me for the pronunciation of this, but Nane no o Tiana.
Aw, thank you.
Which we have no idea what that means, so translate.
Well, for you non-Hawaiian speakers like me, that means, Tiana, you are so beautiful. And I can only hope that you have a change of heart.
Wow. Wait, Joe, you know some Hawaiian?
Yeah, it goes something like Makana Makai Pae Oi. It means she's mine, get your own.
Some finger licking and a romantic night at the beach enough to give Tiana a change of heart. We're going to find out later. Next, though, we meet the woman that Joe dated and hear all about that date, so stay with us. Tiana's date with Jeff. Now we're going to meet the woman that Joe dated. Joe claims that Tiana's native Hawaiian food makes him sick, that her dancing makes him crazy, and that her lack of trust makes him sad. So we set him up with a woman whose roots are firmly planted in California and whose idea of a great time isn't bopping her head back and forth while eating poi. So please welcome Ann Fuller. Hi, Ann. Good to see you. You know Joe? So, Tiana, do you think Ann could get Joe to lick poi off her fingers?
If he wants a reject from the women's NBA to do it.
So, Joe, tell me about your date. Was Ann easy to talk to?
She was very easy to talk to. I remember on the phone, second she called, we just talked about everything that we had similarities with each other, and it lasted for hours. I mean, I can talk to her all day. If
so you had a good time just
great.
yakking away there? Okay.
Great.
And Ann, did you get any sense as to why Tiana might fight with Joe so much?
Not at all. He was a super sweetheart.
That's the first date, that's why.
He was such a sweetheart. When he called, we did talk for a really long time, and I was excited to meet him.
Yeah.
And Ann, once you finally met him in person, was he just as sweet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and plus, he's gorgeous. Totally my type. I love, like, a really strong jaw, and yeah.
So you like that look about him. And Joe, what about you when you finally met Ann?
Once I picked my jaw off the ground, and I regained consciousness, I was utterly dumbfounded. She's very beautiful.
Yeah. So. All right, well, I'm glad we found you somebody nice. Now, Joe, we did hear Tiana rip on her a little bit about her height. How'd that set with you?
It was perfect. It was nice to be able to talk to someone on eye level, so looking down so much.
You've never complained about my height before.
I don't like to make, fun of little things
Yeah,
that help,
well,
but I mean...
I don't know.
All right, Joe, this is probably a good guarantee you didn't go out for Hawaiian on the dinner date.
You can guarantee we didn't go to Hawaiian.
Yeah.
No, we headed out to a sushi restaurant. She told me her...
Oh, that's original.
He doesn't even like sushi. He doesn't.
No, I love sushi.
No, you don't.
And
he's
when
tried
we
it
went
with me
out, she
once.
told me before that she's
He
from
doesn't like
Hong Kong
it.
originally, so that's her heritage. And
She
so
doesn't look Hong
we-
Kongian.
Is that a word?
Like I said, the conversation was a lot better.
I see.
But so we went to a sushi place, and she knew a lot about the menu and what to eat with, what, and what not to eat with what. So she recommended some foods, and it turned out really good. And plus, when we got there, it was really crowded, and she just picked out this table right in the center of the whole restaurant. Just took charge, and we got it. And we had it for the rest of the evening.
She looks like
So that was a good experience then.
kind of a Helga woman, takes charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Aunt Tiana complained that Joe doesn't say what he feels. Did you find that to be the case?
Not at all. I don't know. Maybe you're trying to pick a fight or something, but he definitely told me how he felt, and I knew that was the case. So he was very honest.
You didn't think he was holding back? Okay.
Not at
as
all.
far as the date goes, what else did Joe have in store for you?
Well, we wanted to go dancing, so he took me to a club that had a band playing 70s covers, and I love dancing to 70s music.
And Joe, anything odd
like-
happened while you guys were at the club and the band was playing?
There was one part where a girl got up on stage with the band and started taking her top off. I was a little, I don't know, dumbfounded at first. I thought maybe it was part of the act. I didn't want to get caught ogling, with Ann there, but she looked at it, started laughing, and, made a joke out of it, so did I. And it ended up being a, high point of the evening. It was just something to laugh
so up
about.
on
That's a
stage,
great
you gotta
part of
look.
the evening.
All right, Joe, what about sparks flying? Could you feel any sort of romance building?
Yeah, there was definite romance between us. Throughout the whole evening, we were kind of tentative, but once we got to the bar and we had a few drinks on us, there was a little bit of leaning, a little bit of touching, and definite sexual tension between both of us.
Feeling the
you were
energy.
drunk. I think
So, Ann, all this leaning and stuff lead to some touching?
Yeah, it was, the dance floor was really crowded, and he took my hand and led me through, and we did some dancing.
Lanky dancing.
No, he was a great dancer. I don't know. He was a great dancer.
So they
Perfect
both have
height.
this issue about dancing, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
perfect
no.
height. You could definitely tell. I feel like everyone there was watching us.
You did feel
Yeah.
that?
Because they
Okay.
were.
Joe, what about her dancing, though? She wasn't dancing like an ostrich like you said Tiana does.
She was a perfect dancer. When we got out on the floor, there was definite some type of chemistry between us, and everything just seemed to flow perfectly.
So you guys are hanging out at the club, and Ann, was there more than one dance, or was there just
Oh
one?
yeah,
and that
we
was
danced all night. In fact, the lights came on and they practically had to make us leave. We danced all night. It was so much
Close
fun.
the club down and tell you to get out.
Yeah, it was great.
And Joe, so the date went on for some time then, I guess. What time did it end?
Ended up dropping her off, I think, sometime around 2:30 in the morning, and just kind of walked her up to her door, say goodnight.
And that's it. You walked to the door, okay? Did she make it inside okay?
Yeah, I made sure she made it inside pretty well. I walked her all the way to her bedroom, and
Now we get the truth. Okay, so you walked her into the bedroom.
tucked her in, gave her a kiss goodnight, wished her a happy day. It was basically a perfect ending to a perfect date.
Ending.
Okay. You got that look on your face. I don't know. Well, Joe and Tiana have a change of heart during the break. They have to make that decision. We're going to find out what they decided when we come back, so stay with us. Truth, because during the break, Joe and Tiana each made a final decision about the future of their relationship, and there's no turning back now. Will they stay together, or have they had a change of heart? You guys came on the show because you thought maybe by going out on a date you'd have a better understanding about each other, actually, and your relationship. Tiana, we're going to start with you. You wanted to date somebody that wasn't cheap, that was going to spend some money on you, somebody that was independent and wasn't wearing your clothes. I guess that was part of the problem. There you were with Jeff. You had a great date with him. You went for the Hawaiian food. You guys did some dancing on the beach, sang you Hawaiian songs. He seemed much more mature, maybe more your style. I don't know. Tiana, it is your decision. What do you say?
Well, I have a great time with you, and I love feeding you poi. And
that.
when you sing to me, it's incredible. And Joe, we have a lot of problems, and I need to work out. So, maki ao, Joe. I want to stay together.
Stay together. Jeff, sorry things didn't work out for you. All right, Joe, let's get your decision. You said you wanted to date a woman that wasn't going to make you eat disgusting foods. Somebody that wasn't going to dance like an ostrich out on the dance floor, and somebody that you could actually trust, or they would trust you, because that was an issue. We set you up with Ann. You guys had a nice date. You said you had great conversation. She's nice and tall and beautiful. You liked that, you said. She took charge at the restaurant. That was something that went on. You went to the band. You saw them with the 70s thing and the topless women up on stage and all of that. Sounds like it was a pretty fun night out. Tiana does want to stay together. Joe, what do you say?
I had a great time on my date. She's extremely beautiful, and I'm very glad I got the chance to meet her. Me and Tiana have some really big issues, though, and however, with these big issues, I think it's worth it if we try and work them out. So I decided to stay together.
Stay together. Okay, and sorry things didn't work out for you. Hopefully with the two of you coming on the show, you actually have a better understanding about your relationship and go forward from here. That is our show for today. Thanks to Jeff and Ann, and good luck to Joe and Tiana. We'll see you next time on Change of Heart. Aloha!